Hi everyone. This is the video to make up live class for today, November 11th. It's Wednesday. Today we are working on our writing summative for paragraph 3. Okay, so let's take a look at our goal for today. The goal is I can write about my future. So we have a couple things to do today. One, we'll do a greeting and check-in. Then we'll discuss paragraph 3. And then we will kind of talk about what the final draft and what that means. You'll then have work time, but if you need additional help with paragraphs 1 and 2, I can give that for you too, but that part will be optional. So our grading for today is, what is one thing you want to do during your life? What is one thing you want to do during your life? So the reason I'm asking you this question is because in your paragraph today, you're going to be writing about your goals for the future and kind of what you want to do with your life. Maybe you really want to learn a new language like Korean, French, I don't know. Maybe you want to learn how to do something special, like a cool trick, or conquer a video game, learn cool tricks in soccer. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to go to college. Maybe you don't. What do you want to do with your life? So, for me, my answer to the question is I have a couple things I want to do. I have a goal of visiting all 50 states. So that's something that I hope I can do in my life. And I want to go back to college and get a master's. So that's what I want to do. What do you want to do? So I'm just going to very quickly review what we've been working on for the last week. So we've been working on our writing summative. So what does that mean? What do you guys need to do? Well, you need to write 3 paragraphs. And in those paragraphs, you're going to use all that you've learned from this quarter, and that needs to be included in your writing, and you'll be graded on that. So, what are you writing? You will write about your identity for paragraph 1. For paragraph 2, you'll write a story about your life. For paragraph 3, what we're working on today, you'll write about your goals for the future. So, you're graded on a couple things. So, this assignment is 4 points. You get 1 point for all of your paragraphs following the writing rules. So that includes a couple things. One, that means you have capital letters in every single sentence. That means every paragraph has a topic sentence. That means all of your sentences have periods or exclamation points. That's fine too. That means all your sentences are complete sentences, which means they make sense. Each paragraph is indented by pressing that tab button and creating that space. And each of your paragraphs has 5 to 7 sentences, 5 being the least. And you can write a little bit more than 7, that's fine, but you shouldn't write like 20 sentences, like that'd be too much. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for you guys to do today. So you get 1 point for writing rules, and then each paragraph gets its own point. So you get writing rules for 1 point, you get paragraph 1 for 1 point, paragraph 2 for for your 3rd point, and then your 4th point is from paragraph 3. So today we're going to focus on that paragraph 3. So, like I said, you get 1 point for meeting the requirements for paragraph 3. Paragraph 3 is all about your goals for the future and what you want to do in the future. So paragraph 3 needs to do 3 things. One, you need to write about what you want for your future. What do you want to do the rest of the 7th grade, the summer, 8th grade, high school? After you graduate high school, do you want college? Do you want to go work? Like, what do you want to do with your future? You need to tell me, what are your goals, and then what do you want to do? So this would be pretty easy. You don't need to include any certain number of adjectives. I really just want to see your writing about what you want to do. So let's look at an example of what paragraph 3 should look like. So this is my example that I wrote. So I'm going to read it for you. Notice that the first thing you see is my indent that I have right here. So right here we have an indent. We have a nice space. So I'm going to go ahead and read this for us. My goal for the future is to continue to grow. I want to grow to be a better person, teacher, and family member. In the future, I want to get a master's degree. Travel is important to me, so I want to travel more. I want to visit all 50 states and many other countries. I want to make the world a better place by educating students and helping my community. I cannot wait to see what the future holds. So, this is an example. This is about my goals for the future, and you can kind of use this to help you model what your paragraph 3 should look like. So, I want to go through and I want to practice grading it. What we're going to do together right now, looking at the writing rules and looking at the paragraph requirements, that's what I'm going to do for every single paragraph that you write. I'm going to ask these questions. They're yes or no questions. And if I say a no to a question, you're going to lose a little bit of points. So it's important that when you go through and write this on yourself, by yourself, that each paragraph you write, you check it and make sure you say yes to all of these questions, all these questions. These questions are in your worksheet where you are writing. So this is where the sheet that you're writing your paragraphs on. The second page includes all of these questions so that you can go through and double check. So if there's any questions that are like, oh no, I didn't do that here, you need to go and fix it if you want the best score possible, if you really want that 4. So let's go through and check this paragraph and see how it did. So we're going to look at the writing rules. So let's see, is the first letter of each sentence capitalized? Yes or no? So let's see if we can figure that out. So I have my pen here. So the first letter of each sentence needs to be capitalized. Let's see if we can find it. So my is capitalized at M. This is capitalized here. So the way I know when a sentence starts, it has period, space, capital letter. So let's see if I can find that. This is capitalized, the T. Right? So every sentence is starting with a capital letter. That's something that we are supposed to do. And it looks like all the sentence did that. So that's the first yes. So now, what's the next question? Does each paragraph have a topic sentence? So let's look at, where is my topic sentence? What is a topic sentence? Remember, a topic sentence is like the first sentence of your paragraph and it tells the person reading it what the paragraph is about. So look at this first sentence. It says, my goal for the future is to continue to grow. So yeah, that's a great topic sentence. It tells me that that this paragraph is kind of about the goals for the future and how I'm going to grow. I'm going to grow to be, and then in the paragraph I said I'm going to grow to be a better person, teacher, and family member. And I kind of talked about how I'll do that. So it's a great topic sentence. The next question is, does each sentence end with a period? So let's take a look. I'll use this pinky purple color. So right before each capital letter, there should be a period, right? So we have one here, here. That's what signals the end of your paragraph, or your end of your sentence, I'm sorry, right? And then this last one ends in an exclamation, and that's totally fine. If you want to use an exclamation instead of a period 1 or 2 times, that works. So the next question is, are the sentences complete sentences? Remember, that's when our sentences make sense on their own. And we don't need to go through all the sentences, but a way to test that is read the sentence just by itself. So like this first one, my goal for the future is to continue to grow. Yeah, that makes sense. But if this said, my goal for the future, period, and it just said my goal for the future, that wouldn't make sense. So read your sentence out loud to yourself. Read it from capital letter to period. If it makes sense within them, then you probably have a capital letter. The next question is the paragraph indented? And then after that, does the paragraph have 5 to 7 sentences? So we've already looked at this one before we started reading, but remember, an indent is when we start with that space. You create that space by pressing the tab button 1 time. The tab button is underneath the 1 on your keyboard, and we creates this space here, and so we can see the space. So grow goes like this, but the first letter of your sentence doesn't start till here. So in this little square area, we have this space. So we have an indent. And then let's count how many sentences I have. So I can just count the periods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have, let's use yellow, we have 7 sentences. So the thing says you need 5 to 7, so we did that. And it's okay to have a little bit more, like maybe if you have 8 or 9, that's okay. But you shouldn't have like more than that because that's just too long then. So we did all of our rules for the rate. We followed all the rules for rating point. We would get 1 point for that. We all these questions right here, we all said yes to them. So now we need to look at these 3 questions. So let's take a look at these. So the first question, did you write about what you want to do in the future? Did I write about that? Yeah, I said lots of things I want to do in the future, right? I said I want to grow. I want to be a better person, family member, and teacher. I want to get a master's degree. I want to travel. I want to make the world a better place, right? All those things are things I want to do. So, yep. Did you write some goals? Yep. My goals were to be a better person, be a better teacher, be a better family member, and to travel all 50 states. And did I write about what I want to do? Yeah, I want to travel. I want to go back to school. All these things that I want to do. So, yes to all of these. So, that would be 1 point. Paragraph 3 is definitely the easiest paragraph. So, I hope you guys think so too. So, now when we're done with this, now it's your turn. You're going to write your third paragraph. And when you're doing that, you're going to be in Notability, and you're going to be in the sheet that you've been writing each paragraph. Remember paragraph 1, we kind of talked about some ways to help you with that in our video from yesterday. So paragraph 1, we have our topic sentence that you could use, and then what you kind of need to do. And I have a sentence frame that you guys can use to help you out. And then we did the same thing with paragraph 2. I told you a topic sentence that you could use, and this is what you need to do. So let's do the same thing for paragraph 3. So now when you're writing your paragraph 3, what do you need to do? Well, first thing you need to start with a topic sentence. So a great way to start your topic sentence, you could say, my goal for the future is blank. And you could just finish it off, right? My goal for the future is to be a good student, to be a good family member, to travel more, to learn how to do stuff, right? Fill that in with some details. And then you just need to tell me or share some goals, right? What are some things you want to do? What do you want to do, right? Right, just kind of tell me, what are some goals? What do you want to do? And then that's it. Once you have each of your paragraphs done, like I said, that's when you go through and you do what we just did with my paragraph. You do these questions, you make sure you did them so that you can get all those points. That's called checking your work and making sure you're turning in the best work you possibly can. So this is what your assignment should look like. It should be filled in with 3 paragraphs. Remember, spaces between paragraphs. And we're starting with those indents. We have all those sentences all nicely put together. We've checked them to make sure we've done everything we need to do. So once you've done that, now we're working on our final, you're ready for it to turn in your final draft. So once you are done writing your third paragraph, you are done with the summative. Oops, I'm sorry. And that's all you need to do, right? Ask yourself those questions, those yes/no questions, to practice grading yourself like we did with Mrs. Sovey's paragraphs. If you say no to a question, that's when you need to go and fix it. What you turn in today, like in the assignment, will be what is graded as the summative. So even if it doesn't matter if you turn stuff in on Monday and Tuesday for paragraphs 1 and 2, you still need to turn it in today, because what you turn in today is what counts as summatives. What you turned in yesterday and on Monday were formatives. They were practicing. We were practicing for our summative. And this is the last assignment for our class. Our class, if you didn't know, this is only a quarter class, so we only have a couple days left, and this is the last thing that we're going to do. When you are done with your final draft in your worksheet, it should look like this, right? You should have paragraph 1 with an indent, put a space, Paragraph 2, indent, press enter to have that space, and paragraph 3. This is what it should look like. If yours doesn't look like that, you need to fix it. If you need help with how to do that, email me, ask me a question, show up to office hours. We have office hours Thursday and Friday this week to make sure we get everything turned in for our class. And so now it's work time. So you will now finish writing the summative and turn that in. So open up your worksheet in Notability, write your third paragraph about your future. When you're done, make sure you've done all your other paragraphs, and then check your work with those questions. And then you need to submit to Schoology. And that's what we're doing today. So if you have already done paragraphs 1 and 2, and you watched yesterday's live video, whether you were in person or you watched the video makeup, you are done. But I do want to review a little bit paragraphs 1 and 2 for people who still need that. So if you need help with paragraphs 1 and 2, keep watching the video. But if you don't, you are free to stop the video and go and get your work done. So let's review paragraph 1. So the first paragraph of your writing summative, the one at the top, is your paragraph about your identity. That paragraph needs to do lots of different things. One, it needs to be about you and who you are, right? That's what identity is. Your identity is who you are. So you need to tell me about your identity. What do you like to do? What things do you not like to do, right? What hobbies do you have? Stuff like that. You need to include at least 3 adjectives to describe yourself. Adjectives are those describing words, so you could use words like funny, smart, kind, responsible, respectful. You could also say like tall, short. You could describe how you look. And then you need to include one of our vocab words in a sentence. So one of those words would be migration, immigration, immigrate, or immigrant. So just like we just did with paragraph 3, let's take a look at paragraph 1. So this paragraph is an example of what you could do in your work. So there are many parts of my identity. Some adjectives to describe me are funny, hardworking, kind, and smart. I am a teacher. That is a big part of who I am. My family immigrated to the United States many years ago. My family and friends are very important to me. Boom, that's paragraph 1. So we've already practiced looking at the writing rules. So these are the exact same questions that you need to do for every paragraph, right? Ask yourself, did you capitalize the letters? Did you have a topic sentence? Did you end with periods? Do you have complete sentences? Do you have an indent? Are there 5 to 7 sentences? These questions right here, that's what you need to do for every single paragraph. And then there's paragraph specific questions. So for paragraph 1, let's take a look at these to practice and just make sure. Is this paragraph about your identity? Did I tell you about my identity? Yeah, I did. I told you a lot of different things. I said there are many parts of my identity. I described myself. Said I'm a teacher. I talked about my family and my friends. Yes, that's my identity. That's who I am. Did it tell me about you? Yeah, it did, right? Those same things. Are there 3 or more adjectives? Let's count. So what I did is I said some adjectives to describe me are funny, hardworking, kind, and smart. So those are 4 adjectives. You need at least 3. And if you don't know how to put those in your sentence, you can always use the sentence that I used. That's totally fine. And you could say some adjectives to describe me are, and then blank, 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 right? And you could fill those in. And then we need the last thing for this paragraph is, does it include one of the vocab words? So let's take a look. So I said, my family immigrated to the United States many years ago. Immigrate is one of our vocab words. So yeah, I included it. So I met all the writing rules and I met the paragraph rules. So that'd be all my points. So now you can go and you can write for your paragraph. You can write your paragraph for paragraph 1. So paragraph 1, you need a topic sentence. You can use this example if you need help. There are many parts to my identity. Started off with that. Tab, boom, first sentence done. Then you need to tell me some things about who you are. What do you like to do? What do you not like to do? Right? What makes you you? You need to include some adjectives, right? And you could always say the example, some adjectives to describe me are, oops, and then you could do blank, blank, and blank, right? You only need to have 3. So you could use this sentence for some help if you need that. And then you need a vocab word. And you could use the sentence, my family immigrated to the United States, and then add some details. What are you going to say? My family immigrated to the United States many years ago when I was 1, before I was born, right? How can you give me some details about that? And that's paragraph 1. So let's take a look and review paragraph 2. So if you if you already know what to do for paragraph 2, you don't need to keep watching. But if you need some help remembering, that's what this video is for. So paragraph 2, you will write you'll get 1 point for me in the requirements of paragraph 2. Paragraph 2 is about a story from your life that is school appropriate. You will not get any points for your story if it's not school appropriate. So paragraph 2 needs to do 3 things. 1, it needs to tell a story about your life and make sense. It needs to have at least 2 adjectives, and it needs to have past tense verbs. So let's look at my example. Here is the story from my past. I met my husband Tyler in college. We both went to the University of Northwestern in St. Paul, Minnesota. Tyler and I met on the first day of moving into the dorms. We were friends for a year and hung out with our other friends many times. In our second year of college, we took a class together. During that class, we talked more and would walk together after class. After class one day, Tyler asked me on a date. We got married almost 3 years later. Right? So that's my paragraph. So to save some time, all of these are yeses. I've already checked them, but when you write yours, I want you to check them for yourself in your writing. So let's just focus on these questions over here. Does this paragraph tell a story about my life? Yeah, it does. What story did I say? I told you the story about how I met my husband. Right? Does the story make sense? Yeah, I gave lots of details. It was clear. I told you what happened, and then what happened after that, and what happened after that. So let's check this one. Are there 2 or more adjectives? So this was the one that I think is kind of hard. There are 2 adjectives, but I wasn't as clear about them as I was in my first paragraph. So one adjective would be first. Remember, adjectives describe. So first describes the word day, right? So the first day. What day? The first day. Another adjective would be other. It describes friends. So which friends? Oh, my other friends. Okay. Second also is an adjective. It describes year. So which year? Oh, the second year. Numbers are adjectives. So 1 describes day. And this one's kind of covered by myself here, but 3 describes the word years. So how many years? 3 years. So those are some adjectives. And then the last question here, it's hard to see now, are the verbs in past tense. Remember, past tense verbs are verbs that usually end in ed, but sometimes they are irregular and they have their own unique spelling. So my topic sentence here is here's a story from my past. So this sentence, since it's the topic sentence, doesn't need to be in the past tense. Is present, and that's okay. But after that, all the verbs are in past tense. So we have I met. Today I meet. Yesterday I met. Went is another past tense. Go to went, right? Past versus not. Met again, same verb. Were, yet today we are, yesterday we were. Hung out versus hang out, right? I like to hang out with my friends. Yesterday I hung out with my friends. Took instead of take. Talked instead of talk. asked instead of ask, and got instead of get, right? Those are all past tense verbs. When we're talking about a story that's already happened, all of those verbs are in the past tense because the story already happened. So let's take a look at the requirements. So we said yes to all of this, and we said yes to all of those. So that means we've now looked at all the paragraphs. We've said yes to every single question. So this essay would get a 4. This project would get a 4. So now it's time for you to go and write your second paragraph to make sure you get a 4. So paragraph 2, topic sentence. That's the first sentence. Here's a story from my past. After that, tell me a story. It could be any story you want as long as it's school appropriate. You need to include at least 2 adjectives, and your verbs need to be in the past tense because you're telling me a story that already happened. Okay? I know this was a long video, but I appreciate you guys sticking with it. And remember, this is our last assignment for our class, like ever. So you guys have all done a great job in this class. I've loved having you in this class. And if you need any help with this assignment or other assignments you're trying to make up, we have office hours tomorrow and Thursday, which is Thursday, and on Friday, or you can always send me an email. I'm happy to help, and I want to see you. I'm so excited to read your summative writing.